Welcome to In 5 Minutes. In the previous videos, we have seen the complete single bus CPU organization and the functioning of different registers and components in it. And we have also seen how different steps in the instruction execution are performed in the CPU organization. We have seen that each step in the instruction execution may it be fetch, decode, or execute. It involves certain sub-operations that are performed between the components of CPU or the registers. These operations are referred to as micro-operations. So let's look at what are micro-operations? Micro-operation can be defined as the primitive action performed by the CPU on the data stored in the internal CPU registers with the help of control signals. So the primitive operations are performed on the registers, different registers in the CPU organization. These operations are referred to as micro operations. Now, different micro operations that can be performed inside a CPU can be categorized as first, register transfer, the transferring the data from one register to another, then performing arithmetic or logical operation on a data stored in one or more registers, then writing into the memory, external memory, and writing and reading from the external memory. So these are the various micro operations that we need to perform during different steps of instruction execution. Now, in this video, we are going to look at certain micro operations and we are going to learn different control signals involved in executing that micro operation. Let's look at first micro operation, that is register transfer. Let's have a schematic. So this is the schematic for the register transfer. Here we have this internal CPU bus that we saw in the CPU organization. Then these two registers can be any general purpose registers or the special registers that are used in the CPU. So far in this example, they are named as source register and destination registers. Now each register is going to have in and out control signals which connects them to the data bus. So these are control switches present here. To perform this operation, first of all, we have to set the control signals as follows. So only one cycle is going to take place here because the internal register transfer does not require more than one cycle. So in this one cycle, first we are going to set RS out, the control signal is active. So when this switch is going to be closed, the data from the RS is going to be on the CPU bus. Now we want this data to be read by this destination register. That is why we are going to set RD in as active signal. And this is connecting the CPU bus. So the data will be read by the destination register. So this is nothing but how the register transfer micro operation is performed between the two registers. Now there are different registers present in the single bus CPU organization, such as memory address register, memory buffer register, instruction register, program counter. So all these register transfer involve similar kind of operation. Each register is going to have two control switches for input and output, connecting them to the bus. And during each time cycle, depending on whether register is source or destination, the appropriate control signals are turned on or made active. So this is how the register transfer micro operation is performed. In the next videos, we are going to see more types of micro operations. So please stay tuned. Thank you.